regular testing. He asked me a lot of things. But I encourage that, and that's my message to you guys. I think there's a lot we do. There's a lot that is probably really hard to enunciate because it is so circumstantial. It's a matter of getting to know us, coming in, and I think you'll find the biggest successes I've had in working with companies, whether it be in games or traditional ICT, is the companies that we build relationships with. And as I get to know you better and you get to know me better, we often find the crossroad where the government can really be of assistance. I think another message I'd give, if you think you're going to ring up a government and ask for some funds and you're going to get it by lunchtime when the first morning you rung us, it's not going to happen. You need to plan, and we're slow moving beast. It's a matter of getting in touch. The sooner you get in touch with us, the more we know about you, the more assistance we're going to be able to offer you. That's the biggest message I would give you. There's a lot of things we can do, but we need to know circumstance. We need to bend our policies to fit with particular things. So look, I'll leave that on. We'll have to answer questions as we go.
Thanks a lot, Mark. And we'll just keep moving along. So we've got some questions after the end, hopefully for all three. Great. I'd like to invite Amelia King, who's the manager of digital media funds, and just also.
I've actually got a PowerPoint, so.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm a bureaucrat, that's right. How do I? If we can find it. Okay. Now I'm going to stand here because I've got my notes as well. So I just want to, I'm going to be talking about the Film Victoria. We work really closely with Multimedia Victoria, and actually it's probably, a lot of people may not be aware that we actually were funded for 10 years directly through Multimedia Victoria, and they actually were really integral in ensuring that we had the funding and that we were able to engage with you. So we work really closely. Multimedia Victoria, as you heard, works very much about the infrastructure and the broader organisational or industry overview. So they look at things like the dev kit that supports all the industry. They look at the trade fairs and missions program, all of the industry. And our role is really about individual projects and individual businesses. So whereas MMV takes that broad overview, we engage on a one-to-one. So that's probably, I suppose, one way of differentiating who we are and what we do differently. Our general remit, we want to develop an innovative industry. We want to market Victoria and attract investment. And as I mentioned earlier, that's very much the role of the Melbourne Film Office. We want to build skills and capability. We want to enhance audience engagement. We support and help shape industry policy alongside with all of our other state government businesses. And we also want to strengthen organisations' capability. And so we have various programs that do that, but quite specifically developing an innovative industry, building skills and capability. They're the key strategies that underpin our programs, and they're the areas that we tend to work very closely in. So I'm just going to take each individual program and just run you through it. Digital media scoping, it's a new program that we introduced, and one of the reasons we introduced it was that at the beginning of this financial year, we basically, as an organisation, said what we want to do is work across all the platforms, and we don't want to end up in that situation where we differentiate between film and television and the digital media and the game sector. But what we realised was a lot of the filmmakers in particular had no idea how they were going to engage with the digital media. So we introduced a really sort of low budget kind of investment program where we enable people just to scope what it was that they wanted to do. So it could be the technical, they weren't too professional, they wanted to engage with another professional, explore the idea a little bit more. Could be market, it could be working out the creative and just having someone do, some animation specs or something, or it could be, trying to look at what the commerce potential is. So we basically said, look, it's entirely up to you. It's a small amount of money, and the idea is that once they've got all of those elements very clearly understood in their own minds, they're then in the position to come back to us and actually go for digital media prototyping, which is really very, very rigorous in the way we assess the applications. So the idea is that behind it, we want playable demonstrations across a whole lot of platforms, so you can see being PC, online and mobile. We're looking at a number of other applications other than just games. We've got a very strong games element, and as you can see there, the funding available is fairly substantial and significant if you can get the overall sort of application right. Last financial year we were in a position we did 2 investments of $500,000 each. That was for Next Generation, and I have to say that as a general rule we've been pretty successful in terms of prototyping. We've got one project, Infinite Interactive, have commercialised, and we're just negotiating the buyout. I've got a meeting later today with another company that went to GDC earlier this year, and they're now negotiating their buyout with us. We've got Mike Fegan, who's been involved in the project, and they've already bought us out, and we're just still negotiating that. But what I can say is that generally I think the way our program is structured in the application form is it's quite a rigorous program and series of application forms, but we also, because it's peer assessment, also seem to have a great rate of success. So, and the idea is that you take a playable demo, you go into the marketplace, you go to TGS, you go to the GDC, and you can actually then very clearly demonstrate to the publishers what your prototype, what your idea looks like. And as I say, it's been really successful, so we're very pleased with that program. And that one actually has been around probably for about 4 or 5 years. And when we put it together, we actually did liaise, with the likes of Mike and other members of the games industry to actually tweak it and get it right. I think we're probably at that stage we might want to revisit and have another look at it with the next gen coming through, and a lot of the emphasis being more on the creative. And I think now we've got a really strong industry that understands the business, so we might need to revisit that. One of the new programs that we've introduced now is production investment. It's a maximum of $150,000. And what we'll do is, if you've got a third-party investor or if you've actually got a distributor or a publisher on board, you can come to us and get $150,000 towards the making of that project. The idea is obviously that you will still own the intellectual property, and through having our investment and hopefully having a prototype up your belt, you'll be in a stronger position to negotiate a high level of royalties. So that's our production investment. Digital media internships. We've heard a lot today that there is a skills shortage. We've recognised this now for a number of years, and our way of addressing it is by providing on-the-job training. I think at the moment too, it's worth noting that we've actually closed the deadline for companies, but if you're actually a student and you're finishing up over the next couple of months, or if you've been in the industry and you're looking to maybe move along somewhere, it's probably worth your while. You've got up until the I think 6th of December to apply as an intern to the program, and we've got an information seminar specifically about the program on the 20th of November at the seminar room of the Council for Adult Education in Flinders Lane. But why we introduced the program is that we actually realised that experiential learning really works, that once people are in situation, they're working as part of a team, they can actually demonstrate their skills and how they work to alongside the other members of the team, and they learn about the particular sort of software that proprietary software that companies have, and their own particular workflows and work pipelines. So we actually introduced this, and it goes for 28 weeks. We pay a pro rata salary of $34,000. One of the things when we were discussing putting the program together, what we didn't want was the fact that either buying new hardware or new software licenses was an impediment to getting the intern up and running and fully functioning. So we actually also have put in a $4,000 grant that goes towards those costs. And because it's a training program, I mean, we're talking about people that have come out of uni and have done a course, but they may not necessarily have worked as part of a team and understood what's required of them, or they may not be completely across all the software that they need to know. We've also expect a level of mentoring, and again, the mentoring can come out of that $4,000. So whilst you're taking someone off a particular project, it might be for half a day every week, that we expect that there'll be an opportunity to make it up financially and get someone else on that job. So To date, we've probably put about 42 people